Yo, 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 what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Rich with Bliss FX. Happy Sunday to everybody. Hope everyone's staying cool. It's hot as hell out in California. There's a bunch of fires going on. Today is August 23rd, 2020, and I appreciate the 6 subscribers that I have. And this is video 3, and this is going to be our pre-market analysis. Like I said, I was going to do every Sunday. So let's just jump into it. This videos probably won't be too long because there's only so much that you can do within a pre-market analysis. That's just the reality of it. And actually, I am going to go for my back testing chart. The reason for it is I don't want to mess up my up-to-date chart, and I need to move this. This is like a little bit too much off here. Or let me see. Is it not? Technical difficulties. There you go. All right, that's a lot better. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's see. Should I spend some time doing just pretty much back testing and paying attention a lot to retraces and how things are coming out? As you can see, there's a fib laying around over there, and let's just break down. Let's go from our higher time frame, see really where we're at. I feel like within a week span, you should have enough data because you're covering information all the way up from 2017, and you really want to pay attention to what's most relevant in the market. And as you can see, we had this area right here where it acted as previous area of resistance, and I will leave that marked up so we can see it basically right here. We can see it also right here, and then we're starting to see it right here, right? So as market is approaching this area, it's coming back down. We saw it again over here, right? We had this push right here. So let's go ahead and just mark that up really quick so we have an idea of kind of where we are. And why are we doing that? Because we want to use the data from the higher time frame, which is a lot more powerful and a lot more condensed than that one on the lower time frame, so that we can help that it can help us make sense of what's going on the lower time frame so that we can benefit. Okay, so I'm gonna leave just the line, but let me just put the text on it so you know. So weekly resistance. Okay. All right, and I like to leave it at a very, very dark blue. There we go. Okay. So we got that there. Now let's go down to the daily. And as you can see, market started to struggle over here. And typically when the market becomes indecisive or it starts to form certain patterns, that means that it could possibly be changing its overall direction and bias. And why am I pointing that out? Well, simply because we can see here this area and this area. It's almost like a very small little double top. And don't worry too much about the pattern, but basically what the pattern is telling you, basically that when you start to see double tops, it's tied up still. There we go. Okay. When you start to see double tops, basically that's an indication that the market is slowing down. And we typically see that when the bearish momentum is starting to lose its pressure. And that's what we are probably going to see on the lower time frame, especially with the close of this last daily candle, which engulfed this bullish candle right here. Again, it doesn't mean that market can't continue to go up. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that within this area, for sure, we started to slow down. Right over here, we had this big push, and all of a sudden we got stuck. So that's what I'm trying to sum up. So let's go down to the lower time frame, and let's see. So we pull our fibs out just so we're able to measure things. As you guys can see, TP1 was hit, this area right here. That was the TP1. If you're basing your structure on the 4-hour time frame, according to the bullish bias, that never basically transitioned. Now I'm gonna do this right here. Very, very subtle, nimble zone. I don't want it to be too thick. So we have this fib is quote unquote, you could say somewhat completed. Typically, market wants to at least hit the negative 27 or the negative 61.8. It could go back up to those ranges, and very well could. However, after spending some time yesterday just alone on the chart, I really feel like we could see a moment of transition. So, and I'll explain as to why. All in all, that TP was hit, and I'm gonna put this a little bit to the side and focus on more of the relevant data. So there is still some room for this trajectory right here to basically be completed. So it could be that the market is still retracing. However, this area right here is quote unquote higher low on our 4-hour time frame. How do we know that? Well, 38.2, that's just the measure that I personally use. And again, use your measures at your own discretion and judgment, but that's just how I use it. And here we had a higher high. And this was our high here. And this was our low. Okay, so this is all based out of the 4-hour. However, going down now to the 1-hour, market really picked up with the bearish momentum. Notice how these drops are almost 100 pip drops. These are really, really strong pushes. So the bears seem to be coming into control after all these days of bullish momentum, right? And we can see that alone just by having the bearish candles start to come into play. So again, we could be transitioning. The other thing is, notice how we had a area of actually, let's do it this way. This was our, I'll do it like this. So 4-hour resistance, which was created, and then we basically find the same thing pretty much right here. And then notice that we also found an area of support. Right, so it's important to keep track of what's being formed. And again, now we are finding another area of support. Boom, right there. Okay, so let me put our supports in blue. Here we go. Here we go. And I will put these in a slight red. And too much. Okay. I think, yeah, that's better. You always want to make the chart look appealing. You know, you don't want to make it look scary because this industry can be scary on its own. So, at this point, the biggest thing that I'm making basically a call on is market ended up below this point right here, which is if I am to measure this push, do bullish to bullish from where market found an area of support, and over here it found an area of resistance. And notice how it broke below the 100% mark. So what I'm trying to say is that within this zone, the market could have after it touched over here to create its resistance, it could have came back down and then it could have gone back up. It could have came back down a little bit more and come back up. And notice how it attempted to do that. So up until here, really up until this area right here, the market was really still in a bullish momentum. This was just a retrace. However, it formed a lower high and it broke below its original higher lows. So really our bearish our bias right now should be more of a bearish bias within the 4-hour time frame. Okay, within the 4-hour time frame. Keep in mind that bias is probably still bullish according to the daily time frame, but you're going to see a transition in the market at the lower time frames before it shows up on the higher time frames, and really that's what we're keeping track. So as of right now, what I would be looking for really is, well, we know that we had an area of resistance right here and then an area of support right here. So if I'm looking to get in the market to potentially short it, is okay, I need to identify how much might this retrace. It could retrace all the way up to the 100% mark. It could possibly retrace to 61.8, but ideally we're looking for the market to then reverse and continue to go down to the downside. So that's really what I would be looking for. And pretty much once the market finds an area of resistance like over here, really what we want to look for is our confluences overall and basically market structure to see what's going on the lower time frame and finding clues within the market to actually see what's going to happen. Now, the other thing I want to point out is notice how I marked that shade in green. Notice how that's a previous area of support that's shown on the daily, which has not been broken this entire time. How do we know that? Well, it's right here. There's a touch. It's a retest, 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 and a retest. So every time market got really close to this orange shaded box, the market bounced up. So that could happen again. But at the same time, this orange box is acting like a magnet, so it's pushing the market down towards it, and that's probably what we're going to see. But before it pushes it down, it might go up a little bit before it comes back down, because the market never goes on a horizontal direction all the way. It always goes up and down to eventually form that that diagonal movement that is the market. And at the same time, we could see this probably get into this range right here of the negative 61.8 on our first expansion level. Reason why is because this is our first lower high, and we can see that clearly from the 4-hour time frame. Why? Well, because we have a lower low, right? So that is our validation. So I think that pretty much sums it up, guys. Don't want to go into too much detail in terms of like what we really want to precisely look over here. I'm going to leave that more so for the actual breakdowns itself. So we have a topic to talk about and something to go over. But then again, keep a close eye as the market is hitting these lines, whether it is the original point of support, which was broken. It could retest right there. It could retest at this area of support. It could retest at this area of resistance, and pretty much look to secure an entry where the projection of the short could be somewhere around here, right? That's one way to look at it. So we, depending on how much market goes up, we're probably at least looking at about 75 pip run, and if it does hit the expansion level, that would probably take more time for it to play out depending on how much volume is packed inside these candles. It could not. It's really just going to depend. Or the market could, again, change its direction and go back into the upside. But as of right now, that's not what we're seeing because we already got under this area right here, which was our break of structure. So guys, I'm going to cut it short right here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching the pre-market analysis on Sunday. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.